Why, hello. It is wonderful to see you today. Would you like to learn more about the early feminist movement? Or how about the just treatment of workers? Or maybe you want to learn about gender and marital equality? Then you have come to the right place. Oh, good heavens, though, I'm getting ahead of myself. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Harriet Taylor Mill. I'm often an overlooked figure in the philosophical world, but I am sure I've impacted your life, especially if you are a woman. But we will get to that in a little bit. I was born in London in the 19th century into the Hardy family. My family was quite wealthy and well known throughout London. I received an enthralling education at home that enriched my curiosity for politics, economics, and philosophy, although I gravitated mostly toward feministic and marital philosophy. Although I had a wealthy family, it was a rather toxic environment. Between my testy father and my bitter mother, and my 7 brothers and sisters, everything was so cramped and harsh that I was eager to move out. Thus, at age 18, as was usual for the time, I married John Taylor, a pharmaceutical wholesaler. John and I had 3 children together within the span of 5 years. John was a good man, but not a great intellectual match for me. I wanted to talk about women's rights within marriage and society as a whole, but often, in my world, women were only raised to be good wives and mothers, not typically to be independent. Contrary to the norms, I wrote many essays supporting that women were made for more than just marriage. My most famous essay was written in 1851 when I was pregnant with my youngest daughter, Helen. This essay was the enfranchisement of women and advocated for feministic reform. I emphasized the importance of equality in all rights, political and civil and social, with the male citizens of the community. Women have strong intellects and a blossoming curiosity. Instead of suppressing this wisdom, it should be nurtured through equal treatment and dignity. Subsequently from this, their families would flourish in many ways, such as intellect and in status. This was a strange idea for my time that led to much opposition. Despite the opposition, I became notorious among my friends for always wanting to discuss deep philosophical topics and questioning social standards such as economic status and marital standards for women. It is because of this that the pastor of my church introduced me to John Stuart Mill, a man who shared in my fascination of philosophy, politics, and economics. Now I know, you're probably saying, "What? Another John in her life?" Yes, I know, it can be very confusing. I'm going to refer to John Stuart Mill as Stuart for the rest of the time, just to keep it all straight. After we met, Stuart invited John, my husband, and me to a dinner at his house to further discuss our philosophical ideologies. Stuart spent much of his time contemplating social, economic, and political theory. He was also a large proponent of utilitarianism, the idea that an action is right if it tends to promote pleasure, and wrong if it tends to produce pain for anyone involved in the action. Stuart was quite an intelligent man. We could talk and debate for hours upon hours, disregarding the gossip surrounding my potential affair with him. More details coming about that later. Most often, our discussions would center around utilitarianism and feminism. He reformed his ideas after reading The Enfranchisement of Women, that we later collaborated on his book, The Subjection of Women, where he supports the political and economic independence of women, especially married women, as it was beneficial and therefore a good act, according to utilitarianism. In addition to inspiring his works, Stuart and I co-authored many of his books together, although I never officially was listed as a co-author since my husband would forbid it. Nevertheless, I wrote a few chapters in his book, The Principles of Political Economy. These chapters centered around the more just treatment of the working class, including better wages, a similar stance which I already held regarding the feminism debate. Stuart and I also co-authored a pamphlet to bring awareness to unjust treatment of women within the home. In my time, domestic violence was rampant and was rarely discussed. Our writing and distribution of a pamphlet was meant to serve as a conversation starter for political reform. People became suspicious of my relationship with Stuart. They even went so far as to spread rumors that I was cheating on my husband. Sure, I grew quite fond of Stuart, but the spread of such rumors was unfair. They not only damaged Stuart's reputation, but it damaged mine, while they simultaneously ridiculed my intellect. They said that I was mothering him since he lost his mother as a child, but I am not his mother, nor his slave, nor his object to be holden. I am an independent woman. Stuart and I had a strong friendship that spanned over 20 years, and friends share ideas and help one another improve, which is simply what we were doing. Even my husband did not really mind my relationship with Stuart all that much. As Stuart and I's relationship continued, it was a little bit later in life when my husband fell ill with cancer. I spent 24 hours a day for 6 weeks caring for him. It was during this time that I did not talk to Stuart very much, nor work on my philosophical studies. After my husband's passing, Stuart and I were discussing getting married. However, I wanted to allow myself time to heal from my husband's passing, and for any such rumors about Stuart and I's relationship to pass. The gossip was so harsh that marrying Stuart seemed all nearly impossible. Stuart, in turn, wrote me a series of lengthy love notes begging me to forget about the public opinion and marry him anyway. He even went so far as to forego the usual marital rights, giving me complete financial and social independence. Based off of our marriage, we co-authored yet another essay titled On Equality in Marriage and Family. In this essay, we wrote that marriage should be centered around companionship and gender equality, not surrounded by unequal power dynamics. We urged for social reforms that gave women more rights within marriage and society as a whole. Overall, I truly just desire to bring attention to the unequal and unethical treatment of women. Women are more than just objects or trophies to possess. My main goal was to bring social reform as well as an end to these oppressive societal standards. Women were given a brain and an intellect for a reason. Why should we not encourage it? Why are women not allowed to share their voice? Why are men only given such liberties? Think about how our society and economy could improve if we would allow women to fully flourish and be free from any oppression. I know an end to all oppression for women may be a utopia, but I hope that one day women will be able to freely do as they please. This vision, though, is extremely frowned upon in my time because, again, women were raised for the purpose of raising children and keeping the house. I'm often mocked, and many say that my ideas are far-fetched, ridiculous, and even childish. But Stuart and I collectively shaped the building blocks of societal equality and liberty for the modern world. Now I need to run. I am protesting outside of Parliament to encourage them to allow women to vote.